Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. So today is another episode of Tea Time with Freda. I have my teacup over here, and the tea I'm drinking today is vanilla chai black tea, and it just looks something like this. Okay, and I also find a very great way to put my makeup stuff together. It's usually in front of me on a table, but I got this basket from a Dollar Tree and I just keep everything in so I can easily reach out for things that I need. Okay, so I went ahead and did my eyebrows, which I'm also struggling to figure out, but I'll get there. So I went ahead and did that, and also primed my face. That's why I'm looking like this, and I have my hair out of the way, so let's just get started. So if you're new on my channel and you don't know what Tea Time with Freda is, it's just a segment I started that I talk about topics, issues out there. It can be anything based on life, relationship, religion, the Christian life, and things like that. So the topics can either be sent to me by you guys through an email, or you can comment under the video and just suggest a topic. If you want to do it that way, that's fine, but I'll also leave my email on the screen and also in the description as well. See, this has been a tea I've been drinking, the vanilla chai. It has been a tea I've been drinking for a long time. First, I love the way it smells and I like the way it tastes, so if you haven't tried it, be sure to try that. So today's topic was actually suggested by my friends, and I'm going to basically be comparing two lives, that's living in America and also living in Ghana. If you don't know, I am Ghanaian. I was born in Ghana, born and raised in Ghana. I have all my family back in Ghana. The only person that is here with me is my dad. So yeah, that's just a little detail about my life. So I moved to the States at age 19 going on 20. I started my college here, so my whole majority of my life was spent in Ghana. So today's video, I'm just gonna be sort of comparing the two places and my experience so far. I have been living in the States close to 8 years. To be exact, I think 7 will be accurate. So today we are going to just talk about what it's like to be in America, and I do have notes that I wrote down just to keep everything organized. So I am going to be taking like a topic and sort of compare the two places. If you have lived in these two countries, or you have lived in another country and then you moved to America, let me know your experience so far. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you want to go back to your country, or what? Or you just appreciate both worlds? Let me know in the comments below. For me, I would say I am like more of a typical Ghanaian. I love being a Ghanaian. I do really love being a Ghanaian. I think Ghana is a very beautiful country. If you haven't been to Ghana before, you should definitely try it. It's a very beautiful country, and Africa in general, it is a beautiful continent, and we're very sort of different from the Western world, and sometimes that could be good, that could be bad as well. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So the first thing I do want to touch on is communication. Just to keep in mind, I am going to be talking more specifically to Ghana, but I do think that to some extent this applies to most African countries, but I am going to be talking based on my knowledge as a Ghanaian. Back in Ghana, communication is a huge thing, and before I touch on communication, there is a respect factor. Respecting people is a very huge thing, and which I really don't think that is a bad thing. I actually think that it's a good thing, but I think it is taken overboard. In Ghana, you are taught to respect your elders and stuff like that, and it's not even just Ghana. I think in every part of the world you are taught to show respect, and that applies to the States as well. But what becomes an issue is there are some times that kids are not encouraged to talk and communicate and express their mind freely. Whereas in America, you can easily express yourself and express what is on your mind. Like, there is literally freedom of speech. where kids are encouraged to say what is on their mind and what they how they are feeling in a particular situation. If I keep looking at this side, is because I have my mirror here. So yeah, kids are easily allowed to express their mind and say what is on their mind, regardless of who they are talking to. And I think this is a good thing in general, because allowing kids to express themselves will help you know what is going on in their life. And there's not that thing that, okay, I can talk to my parents on this, or I can talk to my boss about this, or I can do this. And like I said, this does not really apply to like Ghana in general. It's not like every kid in Ghana is not taught how to express themselves, but it's just something that is sort of hindered in a subconscious way. Why you think you can say certain things in front of your parents, or you can say certain things in front of your teachers and stuff like that. Even here, yes, you can say certain things in front of your teachers, but to some extent you're allowed to say what is on your mind, basically. So yeah, I would say communication is slightly different from here. I would say personally, for me personally, I'll say up until I came to the state, there has been a very good improvement in the way I communicate. There was and also I feel like in Africa there's also that language barrier, because we were naturally born into a community that speaks a certain language, and then you go to school and then you have to learn someone else's language. So if you don't know the Ghanaian culture, it is more like you go to school and we are taught in English, so we are taught basically British English. So it's more like you are comfortable communicating certain things in one language, and then you have to adapt to talking in somebody else's language. Something that hinders the way you talk a little bit, because sometimes you just can't express yourself adequately in another person's language, if you get what I mean. And that brings communication in school systems a lot harder. Yeah, going back to my experience, I think America has really helped in the way I talk and the way I express myself. I'm still not there yet. There are certain things that I will hesitate saying it and it sort of took me a long time to sort of start finding my voice and saying things that are actually on my mind. I'm personally not a big sharer. I like to keep a lot of things to myself, which is just how I am basically, but I am expressing myself a lot, and that also I think has more to do with my YouTube channel, and I'll go into that in a whole different video. And I also think Ghana is adapting to that level by allowing their kids to talk and allowing people to express themselves. So I think it is getting there. It's getting way better. Yeah, so let's move to the next one. The next one will be the family dynamics. Back in Ghana, there is family is everything, I'll put it that way. There's a lot of concentration given to the family system. If you watch my last video, you will hear me say that at any point in time anybody can join that family, even if the person is not black. There is a very close niche relationship that is established with people, and you can most likely feel like anybody is your family member at some point in time, which to some extent could be a good or bad thing. It just depends on the angle you're seeing it from. I actually like the family dynamic we have in Ghana, because there's really always somebody to talk to and somebody to, like, you know, feel so comfortable with sharing your life with. So yeah, if you're a Ghanaian, you know, like your you grew up with your aunties, your grandmothers, your sisters, all of those people, and it's a very big loving relationship. And that thing that they always say, that it takes a village to bring up a child, this is literally that case, where everybody contributes to your upbringing and everybody can basically correct you when you're going wrong, teach you new things and stuff like that. Whereas in the States, the family is very nuclear type, like you have just your immediate family. There is some, to some extent, that people go bigger, but the most concentration is on your nuclear family. It's like you grew up in a family dynamic and then you leave that dynamic, you get married, you have kids, and that's your concentration, you know. You can't reach out to the family outside that new family that you have built, but they are not really your concentration. And I'm not saying this broadly. Yeah, there are people who, America is full of a lot of people, a lot of immigrants as well, who bring that family dynamic over here, but I'm just talking like in general. The concentration is more based on your nuclear family. And I also think that happens sometimes in Ghana. Not everybody is open to the big extended family uh, dynamic. So yeah, and also another thing that comes into mind when I talk about family is how we live in general, how we live in Africa. Like kids can live in the house, so like especially a girl child, you can live in the house, so like you get married because they feel like your father is responsible for you up until you have another man in your life that is responsible for you. So in Africa, you're allowed to stay at home till you get married, but in America, it's different. Once you click 18, you need to start thinking about moving out. And I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily. I just think that it's just the way the economy here is, because it's like kids grow up at a faster pace in America than in other developing country, because this place up, I think age 13 or 16 you could start finding a job. I think so, I might be wrong, but yeah, in Ghana I think you need to be 18 legally, I think, but then you can find jobs at a younger age than 18, but I think legally you need to be 18. So yeah, and also there are really not jobs that people that are underage could find easily in Ghana, whereas in the States you really can find a job like working at McDonald's, working at a kitchen in a facility, and all of those things. So kids are really like brought up to be more, to think of being responsible at a very younger age than in Ghana. I'm not saying Ghanaian kids are not responsible, I'm just telling you how kids are brought up over here. I think we start thinking of that responsibility once maybe we get to the university, because the SH system, the high school system, it's like you're still under the care of your parent. It's more broad in Africa, where in America the family dynamic is niched. So yeah, I think to some extent I love both worlds. I don't think one is better than the other. I think there should be a balance in the middle. Sometimes you don't necessarily want the extended family impacting things into your immediate family, because there are good people out there, there are bad people out there, regardless of whether they are family or not. Sometimes you want to be able to monitor things that are happening in your immediate family, so you want to sort of close it and not open it to the whole public. And not open it to everybody to have a take in it. And sometimes also I feel like that little niching down the family dynamic, it makes kids a lot more responsible than you would think, because then in a larger family dynamic you think, okay, there's uncle there, there's this auntie 1, auntie B, uncle 1, uncle B there, that if you know my parents can't, I can fall on them. But it's really not always the case, because the uncle might be very caring at some point, or the auntie might be very caring at some point, and up until it becomes financial. Then you really like get to know how people are. You know, money shows you different side of people. So my next topic is another one that I really don't like talking about, because it can be a little confusing topic when people think maybe you're trying to make Ghana bad. But then I feel like we need to be open-minded and listen to what I have to say. And if you agree with me, let me know in the comments as well. I think I'm doing too much in this video with this makeup. Hopefully I'll be able to blend all of that out. So in my last video, one of my friends pointed out that I was rubbing the beauty blender instead of tapping it. I hope I did that earlier on. I think I do that unconsciously because I've been doing it for a long time that I don't really remember. So yeah, the next topic I want to talk about is being a risk taker. I think in the States, you're born to be a risk taker. You really have to take risks to survive here. Like, there are a lot of things that don't get laid down for you to just be born into and enjoy. Yes, if you're born into a super rich family, there's certain things that are just there, that by virtue of who you are born to, you are allowed to enjoy that. But in general, majority of people out here take risks. Like, they take very calculated risks, and sometimes these risks are not even also calculated, but they are ready to go into it. They are not scared of taking risks. Whereas in Ghana, I think we are not taught to take risks. We are always taught to always think about things, and then the thinking sort of scares us to actually go into the thing. And I think this is one huge difference that I see in most Ghanaian and also Nigerians. Let me point that out. I think Nigerians are risk takers. So this thing is not really applying to the whole African community. I think I would say specifically I will be talking about Ghanaians. So because I honestly think Nigerians are big, huge risk takers. But Ghana, we are very relaxed. We are very like, okay, one way, you know, this is the way I know, that is the way I'm taking. We don't really go out of the normal way. And of course, this doesn't apply to everybody, but in general, we don't always go outside the norm to do things. We will always want to follow the regular way. So for example, somebody growing up in Ghana is always taught like, okay, you go to school, you finish school, you find a job. There's nothing really entrepreneuring that is being taught. So it's more like when you finish school, you can go outside your career to do other things that you like. You have to focus on that career and make sure that career flourish. You can't have any other thing aside that. And I also think that brings me back to a mini topic I want to touch on. It's like you're born to be just one thing. You're born to fit into somebody's office. You're born to work for somebody, and you dare not go outside that. You dare not go outside that. So, and it's hard sometimes, because sometimes you go to school, you will think you like something, then you go to school, you go to university and do all of that, and then you finish and you're like, okay, I really don't like this thing anymore. In Ghana, it takes a lot of energy and a lot of like vim to go to your parents and be like, okay, I went to school all these years and I finished university, I'm an engineer, and I know I don't want to do engineering anymore. I want to set up a pure water factory. Like, how dare you? So it's more like that. Whereas in the States, people are very free-minded. They are allowed to change at any point in time. When I went to school, I just didn't understand why people come to college and decide to be undeclared, which means you don't have a major. You're just trying to go through the school system to see what fits you. At first, I was thinking, okay, this is a huge waste of money because college is not cheap. So why are you spending, let's say, a semester or two trying to figure out what you want to do? But when you really think about it, sometimes some of us were born to know what we want to do. Like from the get-go, you know what you want to do. But then some people, it takes them a while to actually decide, okay, this is what they want to do, or at some point they realize that okay, this is not what I want to do anymore. I will have to change, you know, and try other things. And I think that is fine. And I think at some point in your life, if you realize that, you should take some time back to decide what you want to do again. You shouldn't be forced to stick to the plan A. You know, you should not be forced to stick to the plan A. You're allowed to change your mind at any time. But I think in Ghana, it is hard to change your mind. And I also think that it's also the system. Sometimes it's not always like because you were born and raised to think this is it, that's why you're sticking to it. I think it's also the system, because the system is not very conducive as in America, where you can change things anyhow. You can change just anyhow in America. You can decide, okay, I'm at age 30, I want to be a doctor. You went to school and studied business, you could change. It's not that convenient in Africa. It's not that easy to change things like that. So I think that is also another thing that makes it harder for kids and people to actually change their mind and change what they want to do. For me, I've always wanted to be a doctor since growing up, and I still do want to be a doctor. There were times that I actually have to think if I really want to do this, and I think me finishing school in 2019 and not going to school for the past 2 years has actually given me that time period to sit down and really think if I really want to do this. And up to this point, I still want to be a doctor, and deciding to be a doctor is not always, it wasn't really a straightforward path for me, which will be another story for another day. If not because by God's grace I found myself in America, I'll probably be at somebody's bank being a banker or something, doing something business related, and I'll probably not be here. But I'm able to decide that okay, this is the path I want to go through because of America. So you see how it is. It's good to try things. It doesn't mean everything you try is going to be successful. Trust me, it's not. Everything you try is not going to be successful. But then it's also like, okay, what if you don't try? How are you going to know it's going to work or it's not going to work? There are times that I want to do things that my mind is my worst enemy in this world. There are so many times that I want to do something, then I'm like, okay, I don't think I'm good enough for this thing, I'm fit enough to do this thing, and I just don't do it. But then I really don't know the outcome of it, whether it was going to work or it's not going to work. And I've started learning a theory that the worst that can happen to you is people saying no to you, and it's okay. For the longest time, I think it was very hard for me to hear no. I'm used to like doing things and getting results, and also saying yes to people, that when I get no, it's sort of scary. But you just know it's part of life. It helps you improve, and you just have to let go of those boundaries that you've set for yourself, and just learn to hear no. So I think in both worlds, we are less of risk takers. America, like, they take some deadly risks, okay? They take some deadly risks. I'm not there yet. I'm trying to get there. Another thing I want to talk on is education. I think I touched on this briefly previously, I think in the risk-taking one. In the States, the education is different. You can really change things at any point in time. Ghana, when you get to senior high, you're probably stuck. You really can't change things that much. You can change into certain areas, like say you can do agriculture in SS and then do business in the university, which is easy. But you can't do agriculture, you can do business in SS and then go to medical school in Ghana. It's not like that. You have to start with some sciences, or you have to go back and do the sciences. So it's hard. Things are not really flexible. Whereas in the States, education system is pretty much flexible. You can change anything at any point in time, okay? You can change anything. You can be a music student and become a doctor, is they make things easy for you to change. In Ghana education system, more focus is being given to students that are smart. I think in America education system too, yes, if a student is smart, I mean, naturally teachers will love you, but if a student is not smart, so they always concentrate on how can we make this student improve. And there are a lot of resources out there to make students improve over time. Whereas in Ghana, we lack those resources. In all over the world, America have one of the best education out there. That is something that you can really argue. There are other countries like the UK and stuff that have also equally good education, but I really can't comparing it to Ghana. American education is up there. That I will not argue about. Another factor that is concerning when it comes to the Ghana education system is how teachers relate to students. In America, it's like the teachers, they know their job. It's like this is their job. They are there to make you better. So like you can walk to any teacher's office and be like, hey, I don't understand what you said in this class. They are open to like hearing your points of the scenario. They are open to admitting that, okay, I was wrong. I think if we do it this way, it's going to be right. It's like there is that communication. Let's talk about this and let's figure this thing out. Whereas in Ghana, the teacher is always right, okay? It will be difficult to find a teacher who is ready to listen to the opinion of the student, unless maybe that student is a very, very good student. And also there's thing of abuse from teachers and also abuse from students, where teachers base your score, especially the female children, where teachers base your score on what you are giving them privately, if you know what I mean. But in the States, like, there's laws that regulate that, like, and you don't play with things like that. Like, if there's a sexual abuse, oh hell no, you are going down. They don't play with things like that. But in Ghana, people are not heard, because the people that are put in place to help you stop these things, they are doing it themselves, so they can't really help you. You get what I mean? So yeah, so education system, those are the things that are concerning you. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you can't do well in Ghana education. You can. If you want to compare both, education in America is way better and it's more advanced too, because of the resources that are available to us. Whereas in Ghana, we are not there yet. Those resources are expensive to acquire. The next thing I want to talk about is relationship. If you're Ghanaian, you know how this is. In America, even at 16 years, it's like your parents are pushing you, oh, we want to meet your boyfriend. You can be your boyfriend at home at age 16, 18 and all of that, and they believe like they know who you're dating, you can move in with your boyfriend and stuff like that. Whereas in Africa, you cannot do any of these things, okay? You will not dare. You will not do any of these things. It's like the relationship dynamic is sort of weird, which I get it. They want to protect you against teenage pregnancy and all of that, but I also feel like I prefer the American way to some extent, because I feel like the more you get to know about your kids, the more you can control certain things. When you were trying to stop them from being open to you, then they tend to lie to you, and then you don't have control. But then when you're open to them saying things, when you're open to them showing you what is going on in their life, then you can control certain things. But if not, you really can't. You really can't. That's why a lot of people go out there and then it's like, okay, my daughter is nice, and then you find out your daughter wasn't that nice. So it's just a sad reality. And also there's out that marriage thing associated to with age, which is a whole nother topic. Like, you at age 30, you clock 30 and your parents are on your neck. Where are we seeing our son-in-law? When are we getting our grandchildren? But they were the same people telling you you can't date at 28. So it's just like, okay, am I supposed to go on the street and just grab somebody's son to get married to me? It doesn't work that way. Dating is something that everybody needs to do. Like, I think it's a nice thing to do. I do agree with dating and dating around. Do not get me wrong. That's a whole nother topic I'll talk about. I am not saying go have sex around, but I do agree with dating around and getting to know people and like seeing what you really want. I think that way you are able to develop and get to know what you want and what you don't want. That way when somebody comes into your life and the person is treating you below your expectation, you get to know, okay, I do not want this and I'm ending this. But in a situation that you're not even allowed to date and get to know people, sometimes you end up with people that treat you really bad and you're stuck there and then you can't do anything because you haven't had the chance to get to really know yourself in that light. So yeah, when I think in my personal case, I always forget to relate it to me because I feel like that's sort of the way they wanted me to tackle this topic. I keep forgetting. I think in my personal case, that was something I was brought up with. You don't date, you don't have relationship until like miraculously you're married. Yeah, I was brought up in a very, very conservative Christian family. My dad is a pastor. If you don't know, now you know. So I was brought up to like sort of hold up to the morals and the standard of the Christian religion, which I really do not regret growing up like that. But I just feel like my dad was more open to having certain conversations. I think now he's more open to the conversations because he has been in America for a while. But I also do think that this conversation wouldn't have happened if he hadn't traveled. Growing up in that sort of family, you always want to do right by your parents, and I don't think it's a bad thing. Like I said, I do not regret it, but I also feel like I wish I had known certain things before going into my first relationship, because it was like, okay, this is new, this is like, how do you even navigate these things? Like, okay, this person is doing this to you and you don't like it, do you just sit down and just allow it? You see, those kind of things. So I just feel like at some point I get to learn things, sort of like you learning on the job situation. You get to know the different side of you and the things that you allowed and not allowed in a relationship while you're going through it. But in this scenario, you're not dating. Dating is more like getting to know people, but you're in a relationship with people, which makes it harder because like you're trying to consider this person's feelings and emotion, and also you're trying to make sure you don't get hurt. While as in relationship, there's really not that much of emotion going on. You're just trying to get to know people, so it's like at any point you can pull away, okay? At any point you can break things off. But then if you're in a relationship, it becomes more harder because it's like, okay, you don't want to hurt somebody and you also don't want to hurt yourself. So what do you do now? I like to approach things in a very positive way. I think things happen for a reason. If something doesn't work for me, I really do think it is for a reason, and I learn from it and I just move on. That's basically how I approach things. Yes, even till now, I don't think I will come to my dad and be talking about my relationship. And just because personally, I don't talk about my private life like that. I like to keep things to myself, okay? You're not keeping up with my relationship. It's just how I want it. So it's just a personal decision. Yeah, I will say that I don't think that America has, I think it has changed, affected the way I approach relationship a little bit, but now like I also said, I haven't really, I started dating at a very adult age. It's not really like, okay, I started dating at age 14 or 16 or 18, you know, it's an adult age, and I don't regret that again because I think I was grown enough to learn things and to also allow things to happen, and to also learn from those things that are allowed to happen, whether they were good things or bad things, you know, and you learn along the way. I think when it comes to a relationship, the states have it more on a free flow than Ghana. It's like Ghana, you do things based on time, where this place you really just don't care. So today we are going to be using a lip gloss because I do not feel like using a matte lipstick. Okay. Okay, so you guys know how the drill is. Let me know how I did with my makeup today. I don't know how I did, honestly. I don't know. So yeah, let me know. But I know one thing I know is I'm loving these lips. Okay, so yeah, let me know how I did in my makeup, and also let me know if you have any topic you would like for me to talk about in my next video. I would really love to do this more often. I do have some topics that I have planned, but I would love to tackle topics that you guys want to hear more than topics that either my friends came up with or topics that I generated. Let me know in the comments if you have any topic that will interest you and you want to hear my view on it. So yeah, I think today's video I was a little bit all over the place because I just it is hard to want to compare both worlds. But yeah, I think my general thoughts on America and Ghana thing pertaining to me, I think I love a little bit of both worlds. I love Ghana a lot. If you're close to me and you're very in my niche circle of friends, you do know that I enjoy being a Ghanaian more. That's just a little bias. But yeah, I love being a Ghanaian regardless. We are not really there yet. It's a hard thing to compare both worlds because Ghana is a developing country and America is a developed country. So there are things that are in place here that makes life way easier than in Ghana, and I understand that. But I do love my Ghana, and it's very peaceful. It's very like easy flowy. In America it's more like a hustle thing. And that was the last thing I wanted to tackle on in this video, but I'm sort of going to leave it out. It's like the lifestyle in America and sort of make a whole video around it. If you want me to bring that video quickly, let me know in the comments as well. Sort of like lifestyle in America. I just didn't want to make this video long, so that's why I didn't talk about it. But yeah, I'm gonna be ending this video here. Let me know how I did on my makeup. Am I getting better? I'm just still playing around. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Thumbs up this video, it really helped my channel, and also share this video with your friends and tell them to subscribe. Okay, let them come and subscribe. I will catch you in my next video, so until then, stay blessed and beautiful. Bye guys.